point out, what ketosis is. That is the state we're in that allows your liver to break down those fats into molecules called ketones. And so that's where the name keto comes from, ketogenic, from ketones. And so that is, like I said, you can do a low carb, high fat diet where your goal isn't necessarily ketosis. It's still good for you. People see weight loss from it. But there's medical applications of keto and being in ketosis. So it just kind of depends on what you kind of pick, what is best for you and how you're going to do it. But keto is not something that I'm going to try this for a while and go off or whatever. It takes your body several days to adjust and get into ketosis. And then if you cheat or you get out of ketosis, it takes your body that long to say you'll feel like crap. So once you decide to do it, you want to stick to it. But once you get past that first, it's like with any habit, when you get past that initial couple weeks or whatever, then you're going to feel so good. You don't want it. And Sandra and I were talking about that. I said, it's funny because things that I thought I would miss or whatever, they don't even taste as good. And if I have them, it's not worth the cheat because I feel so bad. Not mentally bad. I feel just afterwards, So there's a little info on there about how you tell if you're in ketosis. So the only way to do that is do you use the strips?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, not very often, but I was curious at the beginning if I was,
yes.
And now I just trust the process.
Exactly. Yeah. I think once you learn your body, you kind of know.
Yeah,
but then,
exactly.
There are strips that you can use to test to see if you're in ketosis. But then there's a list on the next page to talk about what to eat, what not to eat. Like I said, you want to stick with that 75-25 or 75-25. I've seen it both ways. Mine is set to 75% fat, 20% protein, and 5% carbs. So this is different than like Atkins. Atkins is unlimited meat, and protein is different. You do need to restrict your protein as well. And there's some info in here about calories. You do still want to monitor your calories. If you're doing this for weight loss because less calories than you burn is how you lose weight. So you still have to monitor that, and you want your calories to be coming from fat. Like the majority of your calories are going to come from fat. So you can read all this. I'm not going to read this. You guys can read. But I just wanted to put that in there because this is like, this is like the meat of it, So I wanted to put that in there for you. And one of the other things I just wanted to share that before I open the floor to these first time in my life, I feel in control of food. Like I look at food as fuel now and not as something that rewards me or something that comforts me or something that I do when I'm bored or something I do when I'm with my friends. I look at food in a completely different way. Before it was like, if I was going to get together with friends, I was like, what meal shall we plan this around? Where shall we go to eat? And how much am I going to splurge? It was like, and any other, I've done Weight Watchers before, and I've had success with other, things before, but I always felt deprived, like, I'm eating, I'm starving, and the fat fills you up, so you don't feel that way. It's just a completely different mindset shift for me, and I love that. I feel really empowered by it, which sounds crazy, but it is. I feel very empowered by doing this and treating my body this way in like the healthiest way I ever have. So
my name is Sandra Griffith, and I've been on the ketogenic diet for just a little over a year, since June 1st of last year. Now, I'm different because I do have to jump in. Both feet off the deep end. I can't wait. I've got to get in there and just cut it all out. So what happened, and the reason I found keto was last year, I was so sick. Blood sugars every day in the upper 300s. Hold on a second. Yeah, he's throwing me off.
Every single time.
Every single time. It doesn't matter where I'm at, what I'm doing. I got him in the background. So anyway, so last March, I felt like I was going to die. And I was keeping that to myself. I wasn't telling my family how sick I felt. But every day, I I was having dizzy spells, headaches, constant. They just wouldn't leave me. Migraines, developing the migraines at least 2 times a week. My blood sugar was in the upper 300s every single day. My blood pressure was at stroke level. From the knees down, my legs were purple with brown splotches, and I felt like I had my legs in a bucket of jellyfish. It hurt so bad. And I know what jellyfish feels like because I jumped into the ocean and got stung by quite a few of them. So recognize the feeling. And I was like, I have got to do something or I'm going to die. Well, my friend invited me to a product demonstration for this wonderful company. And they weren't just about food. They were about holistic living and organic living. And they made clothes out of hemp and food products and makeup products, all organic based. So I decided on the way to that meeting that I was going to buy whatever food products they were selling because I had to do something. So without researching this company, I just was going to buy whatever they were selling me. I had to do something. So once I ordered the products, I decided, I better research what I'm getting in the mail. I better see what I'm going to be putting in my body. So during the research, though, I seen something on intermittent fasting. I'm like, never heard of that. I want to see what intermittent fasting is. So I started YouTubing intermittent fasting. Everybody that was talking about intermittent fasting was talking about keto. And I was like, well, I had family members and friends with epilepsy, so I knew keto was a medical diet for severe cases of epilepsy. So I wanted to see what they were talking about keto to cure diabetes and weight loss. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. This is the game plan for me. This is going to get me straight. This is what I have to do for myself. So I looked down, and I was drinking a bottle of green tea because I thought that was a healthy choice. I went over and dumped it in the sink. And when they said they started keto the next day, I started keto in that moment. I'd had enough carbs for the day, so I was done. And the next day was June 1st. So from that day on, I have not had over 20 net carbs, but twice. And one time I went to the 30s, and the next time I went up to 47. But other than that, the highest carb day I've ever had is 47 carbs. And I have not had any sugar in that amount of time since last year. No fruit, no grains. I cut it all out. Within 2 weeks, I started to feel better. I mean, amazingly better. Like, the energy was unbelievable. At that time, I weighed 322 pounds. Within 2 weeks, I was at 298. I had lost 26 pounds in 2 weeks. That's how much inflammation, because we know that wasn't fat. That's how much inflammation that I was carrying, how much water retention and edema that I had. From the mid-leg down, I had pitting edema so bad if you squeeze my leg, you would see your handprint in my leg for close to a half hour. I mean, it was bad. Arthritis in every joint in my body, but for the right arm, hands, it sometimes hurt just to pick up a coffee cup, and writing was a pain in the hands. All of that within the first month went away. Within the first month, I was pain-free. And at that point, down 32 pounds. 1 month in, 32 pounds. And I was like, I feel amazing. I can't imagine ever in my life eating any different than this. And the thing is, it was just so natural. It was just ribeye steak, broccoli, cauliflower, good, healthy foods, and easy. And butter. Oh, put butter on everything. Just lather it up in butter. And I loved it. So at this point, I have lost 112 pounds.
Wow.
Yes,
Fantastic.
and
Wow.
yeah, feeling fantastic.
So fantastic.
So for me, I come at it from an eating disorder, and I don't mean just most of us. If we're overweight, we have some type of eating disorder. But I had the binge purge. I binged a lot more than I purged, but binge eating was bad for me. I would do it every night on my way home from work. I'd get off work, and I'd go through McDonald's on my way home, knowing that my husband was going to have dinner sitting there for me when I got home. He would call me and say, I've got you dinner, I would still go through McDonald's on my way home, eat that, throw it away in McDonald's parking lot, and then come on home and have whatever he cooked me. Almost every single night that I was getting off work, I had to binge. And then there would be nights when I felt so guilty about it, I would pull over on the side of the road before I could get home to throw that up because I knew that I was going to go home and eat my dinner. So I think about not just physically what I was doing to myself, but the amount of money that I waste. So when they say keto's expensive, it's not as expensive as what we're doing to ourselves. The amount of food, the processed crap that we're eating, what we're putting into all that junk food, then what we're doing to our health. I didn't have insurance. I couldn't afford medical intervention. Thank goodness I had friends in the medical field who pretty much diagnosed me for free. And they're like, Sandy, you're going to die. You're going to die. You won't be here next year if you don't get control of this. So I didn't start it for the weight loss. I started it to get control of the diabetes, to get control of edema. My legs, if I accidentally bumped them on something, the skin would split open. It was that bad. And so when I went into it, I didn't go into it with a weight loss mentality. I went into it, I've got to save my life. I got to get control of the diabetes. I got to get control of the high blood pressure before I have a stroke. And the arthritis was just, I hadn't even researched that. That was just a happy coincidence. I'm like, all of a sudden I don't hurt. My knees don't hurt. My hips don't hurt. My arm, I can write. I can hold a cup of coffee. Keto coffee. You know, so for me, it was driven by my health ailments. And the weight loss has been fantastic side effect. So it's easier to stay on keto when you're looking at it for its overall health benefits, health and wellness. Because if you're only coming at it from a weight loss standpoint, it makes it harder. Because that's another thing you got to realize is you cannot trust that scale. Weight loss is not linear. So right now I'm on an up because I'm on my cycle. So during that time, I can gain 10 to 15 pounds in water weight. I know that now, and I know it's a beneficial part of the process, because as we're gaining that water weight, she talked about the whoosh. Mm-hmm. Then at the end of it, it whooshes it out, and when it whooshes out, it's taken the toxins and it's taken the fat. So you want that little bit of an upsweep all the time, because then that flushing happens. So now it doesn't bother me at all. When I go up on the scale, because I know I'm following the protocol, and I know I'm following the process, when I go up on the scale, I get excited now, because I know that means a whoosh is coming. That means at the end of the week, end of a 2-week period, I'm going to be at a new low. So keto doesn't just heal us from the inside out. It heals our mentality and our relationship with food. Now, I'm not going to say that I have not binged since I've been keto. Because back in the beginning, 4 months in, I went through a freak out mode. What I did, it was all on keto food, but I binged I ate a full thing of celery. So you're not going to gain weight from eating celery, but I did it. I had ate a full thing of celery with ranch dip and then purged. And I've done that twice since the diet, and it was back in the beginning stages. And I don't know what triggers it, but since then, I've sort of got more control and more accepting of the ebbs and the flows of it. And I think that was it. I had seen an up on the scale, and I hadn't reached that mentality yet, and it bothered me. And it was like, well, if it's not working, I'm just going to go in there and eat whatever I want. Happened to be, there was nothing in the refrigerator but the celery. We hadn't gone to the grocery. It was the only thing we had in the house. Thank goodness, because that's what I ended up binging on. It's like she said, it's freeing once you realize that you can trust in this way of eating, and it's going to get you where you want to be. And like I said, not about weight rise, about health. Because right now, I had to go in had an accident, but you go in, you cut yourself or whatever, you go into the hospital, they do labs. The doctor's like, you look like an athlete on paper, till I see your weight. And I'm like, well, you should have seen me a year ago. But blood sugars are perfect. The last blood sugar I had, middle of the day, was 70. My last blood pressure that I had taken last week was 110/62. All my numbers are perfect. Cholesterol is perfect. All I have to do now is finish getting off the other 100 pounds. But I know that that's going to come. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't stress about what that scale says because I know the weight will take care of itself. If I'm following the protocol and I'm following the plan and I'm eating how I want to eat, regardless if I go up next week, it's going to go down again. And it'll eventually get me to a healthy weight for my body type. So try not, if you just start keto, try not to focus on weight loss as being your primary reason for starting it. Start it because you want to be healthy. The health and well-being is so key to keeping you on plan and having it sustainable. So I know I've rambled a lot.
That'd be amazing.
About keto, more about the science behind it. Just because I found when I first started keto, there was a lot of haters out there. My mother probably being the worst, and actually me too. When I first heard of keto, I didn't think it was a good diet. But we'll get into that because obviously I changed my mind. So my name is Megan George. I'm happily married to the love of my life. I have a 2-year-old little boy and currently carrying our second child. So I'm actually not on keto right now because they don't recommend low carb diets while you're pregnant because obviously you can take in more. So, but I'm excited because I can't wait to try keto after I have my baby so that I can see how quickly I can make the weight go away this time. But about 5 years ago, I was at a party with a bunch of my friends and we took a ton of pictures and I was in a bikini and we were going through the photos after the party and I could not believe what I looked like in that bathing suit. I was over 200 pounds. I was sick all the time and I just decided I needed to make a lifestyle change. So I actually took the picture to my mother and I said, why didn't you tell me I look like this? And she said, I just thought I raised a daughter with the best self-confidence in the world because I rocked it like I was a supermodel. I don't know what I saw in the mirror, but for some reason looking at pictures of yourself just happens to, I don't know, strike a nerve and just say, okay, I'm done looking like this. So I put that picture on my refrigerator and I found a picture of a girl that wasn't necessarily skinny or looked like a supermodel, but she looked healthy. And I put that right next to it. And I dove into research. Because what I found was, I'm like, I don't understand when I eat all these diet foods, why I'm not losing weight. And I think a lot of women go through that. So I watched a lot of documentaries. I went to the library constantly and read everything I could and found out that it's because we're eating processed junk. And I didn't go into keto right then. I went to non-processed foods. And I still had a cheat meal once a week. And that was kind of what I looked forward to keep me on track. But I didn't not eat a ton of food. I just stopped eating pizza rolls and Mountain Dew and milk because of all the sugar that's in it. And just stuff that made me feel like crap. I lost 90 pounds. I got down to 110 pounds. And I was thrilled. I was happy. I finally felt confident in my body. I hadn't had a cold in over 2 years until I got pregnant, and then obviously I got sick. But I hadn't had a cold. Like, I just felt phenomenal, and it really just inspired me because I felt like there were so many women out there that we try to do the right thing, but we're packaged to eat these 100 calorie cookie snacks, and this will help you get healthy for your family, and it's junk, and it's actually doing the opposite. So I got really passionate about it because, frankly, I got really pissed because I'm like, these are also teaching our children this. Which irritated me even more, and you guys see there's an epidemic as well as children being obese because same things, they're marketing these juices that are good for your kid and you put them in a lunch pack and when you read the ingredients you're like, oh, I would never give this to my child, you know what I mean? So I just got angry at the big man, I guess. So from that point, I really started doing research and helping out at local schools and stuff like that, and I helped a lot of my friends lose weight. After that, I heard about keto. I had my second son already. He's going to be 3 this August. And to be honest with you, because of how I was raised, I was like, that's a crackpot diet. like fat's bad for you, it's gonna damage your heart, this is awful. But I was always raised, if that's what you think, research it. So I researched the diet, and not at all. It's not at all that way. It took a long time for my mom to get on board because she's like, you better not put my grandchild on this diet, it's bad for them, blah, blah, blah. So, but once you present people with facts, they really can't argue. So I really want to facilitate something where if you do get any backlash from people, that you can speak intelligently about the diet, because then it just shuts them up. And it makes it a lot easier because you're already on a diet, so you're already going through changes. You don't need to argue with people about it, especially your loved ones, which can be your harshest critics at a lot of times. So the reason the keto diet works is when we eat a high carb, high processed diet, as soon as you take in those carbs, your body's out of fat burning mode. Your body can either be in an anabolic state or a catabolic state. It cannot be in both at the same time. So the minute that you put carbohydrate in your body, your blood sugar spikes, glucose is released into your blood, which is essentially sugar, and your body releases insulin. Insulin, I'm sure all you guys have heard of it, but most people don't pay attention to their insulin levels unless they're diabetic. Okay, which is why a lot of diabetics are actually put on the keto diet and has reversed their diabetes completely in a lot of cases, which is unbelievable. So insulin is essentially an usher. It's released into your blood, and its job is to take that glucose and get it out of your blood as quickly as possible, because glucose left in your blood is dangerous. It's toxic. So you are able to hold a certain amount of glucose in your body, in organs, like your liver and stuff like that. It's about 400 milligrams, which is nothing, and that's not like a per hour, per day, that's total. So unless you're an Olympic athlete and you're depleting those levels, your body goes, oh crap, these are full, where are we going to put it? And it stores it as fat. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's got to put it somewhere, it can't leave it in your blood, so it ushers it to your fat, okay? Your body wants to run off carbohydrates because it's easier for it to process. It's a more difficult for it process to remove fat from your body and burn that as fuel. So, which is why anytime you have carbohydrates present, it's going to run off that and it kicks you out of fat burning mode. Also, with the processed foods, we're slowing down every single one of those, and it keeps the insulin in the body longer, which is why processed foods really are, awful. Even if you can't do keto, I stress so much to do a whole foods, non-processed diet, because it's going to do wonders for you, period. Our body is chemicals, period. It's chemical processes constantly. And when you're putting, let's say, for instance, this was my big thing, I know, when I was overweight and didn't understand how things works. Okay, well, a big banana, according to my fitness pals, 140 calories, but I can have chocolate chip cookies and a snack pack and it's only 100 calories. So I just lost 40 calories for the day. Woo, didn't lose weight. Absolutely not. Your body knows exactly how to break down that banana, okay? Your body might know how to break down 2 of the chemicals in those cookies. And when your body does not know how to break down something, it stores it as fat. So I really want you to think about that as you're going out and you're grocery shopping, and even with the keto diet, a lot of people are like, oh, it's so dense in calories. But your body knows how to utilize every calorie in that food. And that's why you're able to flush through so many things. That's why people have the keto whoosh. They just lose so much fat immediately, or water weight, because the carbohydrates are leaving your body, the processed foods are leaving your body, and it's just not holding on to all that junk, okay? A little more about holistic foods, because I know you'll get into more of the keto thing, and I did keto for about 2 months, and the reason, before I found out I was pregnant, is because even after losing all that weight, I still had like the mom pooch right there, and it was driving me insane. So the more I read online is keto is really great for those hard to lose places, because it's not where you're at the gym for 4 hours a day trying to work on your butt or your thighs or your stomach or doing sit-ups. If you're eating carbohydrates and processed food, to get rid of those problem areas, it's almost impossible, because that's where your body's going to store it. So I started keto, and I will say I was unprepared, and I got the keto flu, and it was awful. And my husband got it too. He did jump on the bandwagon with me. He's actually 4 months into it now and doesn't want to stop because he feels so good. I clearly had to, but I'm eating more of a paleo. I'm eating more fruits and stuff, so I'm over my carbs. But what we found with it is when you eat a carbohydrate diet, like I said, your blood sugar instantly spikes. So let's say you guys have for breakfast, and I know we've all done it, you have pancakes and syrup, or you run through McDonald's and you get a McGriddle or something, and you have instant energy, you're ready to go, and then an hour and a half later, you're freaking starving. And you're like, I just ate a full meal. That's because the insulin has now left your body, and your body can't tell you, hey, we need this healthy food. It just goes, okay, we need to survive. Whatever we were getting replenished, we're not getting it anymore. We need it now. And what you find with the keto diet, me and my husband used to eat, it was a joke, every 1.5 to 2 hours. And like we'd get angry, like fighting at each other because you get so hungry. With a keto diet, you'll realize you haven't eaten in 4 or 5 hours, and you'll just go, I'm hungry. But it's not like that, gotta have it now, I'm gonna kill somebody feeling that you. And I'm serious. That's how we used to feel. Like if we were on the road, I'm like, you don't understand, you need to stop, and I need to get some food. Like, so, and it's nice because, as you said, Terri, it kind of gives you control of your life because your whole life doesn't revolve around, okay, my next meal, my next meal, my next meal. And then on top of that, the health benefits. Carbohydrates and processed foods are inflammatories. They cause diseases. Sugar is the devil. Like the more research I do, it's just the absolute worst thing you can put in your body. It breeds cancer. And if you look at our rates compared to other cultures, and the amount of sugar processed foods we have, there's no doubt. There's a direct link. I mean, I'm sure every single one of us know somebody who has cancer. My mother has multiple sclerosis, and when I kind of got on this health kick, I looked up a whole foods-based diet for MS. She was on it for 10 days and could feel her hands for the first time in a decade. And she gives herself a shot every single day. That costs $1,200 a month. Of course, the Army pays for that because my dad's a retired vet. But it just blows my mind that there's so many health maladies out there, but there's no money in telling people to go out and eat healthy. So I recently quit my job. I'm getting my personal training certification. I'm finishing my nutrition degree because I got so passionate about it, because I just see people, they're sick. All my loved ones, my grandmother is sick. She's diabetic. She has all this stuff, but she drinks Pepsi, and she does all this stuff, and she's like, it's fine. We've drank Pepsi forever. The food that we're eating now is not like the food that our grandparents ate. It's just not. Even the fruits, they're all genetically modified. They're all, I would highly recommend, you guys do your own research. I'm not here to say what I'm saying is gospel. Do your own research. There's a lot of great documentaries on Netflix. But once you learn and understand the science behind your body, it's a lot easier to get into a diet, because you don't just see that as, man, do I really want to have that cookie? You see it as, okay, it's got sugar in it. You can make healthy cookies on keto. You can do all these different things. And now is a great time really to be doing stuff like this, because you don't even have to cook this stuff. Like I did cook a lot because I like to have stuff on hand just to keep me on track. But you can go out and buy this stuff too. I Amazon Primed my butt off. Like they have 0 carb bread. Like if I didn't feel like going grocery shopping, because when you first start, the hardest thing I found was finding.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. Okay, so I started my journey I started off as weight loss. So about 2 years ago, I married my husband. Biggest I had ever been in my life. And I wasn't happy with that. You know, having a lot of headaches, not feeling good, not having a lot of energy to get through the day. And I wanted to try to do something about it. And so I started off with, you know, the keto, with the It Works keto line when it first came out. And the longer that I did it, the more I felt good and had more energy and started losing a lot of weight. So I've been doing keto, I would say lazy keto, for about 6 months now, okay? And this month, I started at the beginning of this month doing strict keto. So just in this month alone, I'm down 25 pounds. Since I started it 6 months ago, to this date, I'm down 89 pounds.
Ooh.
And it's been such a great journey, and not just for the weight loss, but for how I feel. My energy level is really great. I don't have headaches anymore. I usually stay up all day. My work schedule is kind of crazy, so I'll share that with you guys. I work at FedEx here in Cambridge, so my day starts at 2 a.m. through the week, Tuesday through Saturday, and most days I am perfectly fine with staying up all day with my husband and my son. And with my combination of what's worked for me is I start off my day with the keto coffee, which starts me off really well. And, like midway through the day, I might feel a little cranky a little bit, so then, I'll either have like the ketones or I'll have the energy, to kind of get me through the rest of the day. And I'm just so excited about what a difference I feel just in general. Not just weight loss, which I'm excited about. I've never been successful with any diet. I've tried everything, and this is the first time that I feel really good, and I just love sharing that with you guys. It's really not that hard. I've just replaced some of the things that I was eating or drinking every day with stuff that's just that's more healthy, and just I don't know what else to say. So yeah, I was one of the things that kind of motivated me was my younger brother. My younger brother's getting married soon, and I didn't want to be where I've been for so long. I wanted to feel good and look good, for him, and his wedding. And so that was my starting focus, is that, okay, I'm going to try my best to try to get to a healthy state of mind, a healthy body, and so far it's been an amazing journey.
Enjoyed the footage from the seminar. I had a great time meeting lots of new people and enjoying that back and forth with people who knew and understood keto. It was so wonderful. I'm sorry it took so long to get that footage up for you guys. I only use my phone for all my filming and editing, so the app that I have on my phone will only handle an hour's worth of material at a time. So I had over 2.5 hours worth of footage, and what I had to do was like download little snippets and compile it, upload it back to the cloud, download some more. So, of course, each download took nearly a half hour. Each compiling took nearly a half hour. But the snippet, it took me 5 minutes worth of work to do the editing. So for each little segment was an hour worth of work. And for some reason, there was times when my phone would overheat and I would just lose everything. Thank goodness, of course, a copy is always kept on the cloud so that I didn't lose the actual footage, which has happened before to me where I've tried to download something from the cloud and it's been corrupt. None of that happened, and I've been a week worth of, please don't let it become corrupt. Please don't let it become corrupt. Because I notice the longer it takes me to edit something, the more chance I have of that happening. But it's done, and I loved it. So I hope you enjoyed it. I was thinking about, I need to get me a computer. So for my next 50-pound goal, so my 100-pound goal was the bracelet and the hiking shoes. So I thought, for my 150-pound goal, I'm going to invest in a computer so that it makes this kind of stuff easier for me to do. Because I'm cheap. I keep telling myself this is enough, but truly it's not. And I'm just so cheap that the thought of getting me a computer has been, yeah. But when I thought about it, 150-pound goal. And then I was thinking about, that's 38 pounds away, guys. I've only got 38 more pounds and I will be there. And I was just like, wow, overwhelmed. I couldn't believe it when I was thinking of it, like, oh my gosh, I've lost 112 pounds. Hey, alrighty, here I am rambling again. So I'm going to let you guys go. You have a great evening. I hope you enjoyed this footage as much as I did. Blessings.